Welcome to today's episode. We're diving into something that's sparked quite a bit of conversation lately, dairy's comeback. It's been a roller coaster ride for dairy over the years. First, it was all about the low-fat craze, then plant-based milks surged, and now dairy seems to be making a return. What's going on?
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting turn. For years, dairy was considered a villain in many health circles, especially with the rise of non-dairy alternatives. But now, new research is showing that dairy might not be as bad as we thought. There's actually some science suggesting dairy can be part of a healthy diet. But of course, the controversy isn't far behind.
Absolutely. A lot of the debate comes from studies showing the benefits of dairy, things like stronger bones, improved gut health, and even better cardiovascular health. But then you have other studies suggesting that dairy might contribute to things like inflammation or acne. It's pretty confusing for consumers trying to figure out what's best for them.
Right, and I think a big part of the confusion comes from the type of dairy we're talking about. Not all dairy products are created equal. Full-fat milk, for example, is a bit of a different story compared to skim milk or low-fat options. And then there's fermented dairy like yogurt, which actually has probiotics that are beneficial for gut health.
That's a great point. Fermented dairy seems to be getting a bit of a spotlight recently, especially since it's linked to positive effects on the gut microbiome. I mean, we're learning so much about gut health these days, and fermented foods like yogurt or kefir are kind of being hailed as gut superheroes.
Exactly. And I think it's also worth noting that dairy's comeback isn't just about health. There's a sustainability angle too. Some newer research is suggesting that dairy farming could be more environmentally friendly than other plant-based alternatives when managed properly. Of course, that's highly debated.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of chatter about how some plant-based milks, like almond milk, require a huge amount of water to produce. It kind of shifts the conversation, right? People aren't just thinking about the health side of things anymore. There's this broader environmental impact to consider too.
Definitely. It's not a simple dairy versus plant-based debate anymore. It's about looking at the whole picture. But then you have the ethical concerns, like animal welfare in dairy farming. That's still a major issue for a lot of people, even if dairy is being rebranded as a more sustainable option.
For sure. There's also the question of whether we as humans should even be consuming dairy in the first place. After all, most of the world's population is lactose intolerant to some degree. So, is dairy really a necessary part of our diet?
That's a valid point. Some argue that humans are the only species that drinks milk beyond infancy, and some even question whether we've adapted enough to tolerate it. But at the same time, the nutritional benefits are hard to ignore. Calcium, protein, and vitamins, it's a nutrient powerhouse for a lot of people.
Exactly. It's about finding a balance. I guess what it really comes down to is personal choice. And the more research we get, the better informed people can be in making that choice. At the end of the day, what works for one person may not work for another.
Agreed. And as new research keeps coming out, it'll be interesting to see how the dairy industry evolves. Maybe we'll see more innovative solutions that make it both healthier and more sustainable. Who knows?
I think we're in for some exciting changes, that's for sure. But we're out of time for today. As always, we encourage everyone to do their own research and consider their own health needs when it comes to dairy.
Definitely. And don't forget to keep an open mind. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next episode.
See you next time.
Like, share, and subscribe for your better health.